Hey guys, come ride along with me while I school a 5-year-old mare. So this is Tempi. She's bred by Aryan Sport Horses and owned by a dear friend and client. And she is a 5-year-old Oldenburg mare. And probably the biggest thing for Tempi right now is tempo regulation. She's got a really good stop on her, and she also will get a little rushy in the tempo as well. So she goes back and forth between the tempo evasions, between being too fast and too slow. So one of the ways that I really like to start off with her is a 3-loop serpentine, because the changes of bend keep her kind of focused, and the bend itself enables me to kind of regulate a little bit more motivation through that inside leg. So I start off walking her through the serpentine, keeping things really clear and concise for her. And then I'll just kind of stay on the serpentine and start introducing the trot. So you'll kind of see there's some tempo variations. She'll get a little curled over when she gets a little too quick, and all of it kind of leads back to her developing better balance and all of these things. I have been able to take my time with this mare, which has been invaluable to her training. So I really appreciate that from her owner, supporting her, just taking her time. So I don't have to rush to get anything done. So like right there, she chose to stop. I took her a little bit more through my left leg, and we carry on. I try not to make a big deal over any of it, because it's not a big deal. It is just where she is at with her understanding sometimes. There she's getting a little quick, and I am kind of playing the human side rein, saying that this is the frame that I'm allowing, and my thighs also closed on the saddle and said this is the tempo that I'm allowing. So then we get into the canter, and again it's just all about tempo regulation. The big thing is changing from bending line to straight lines. You'll see here, yep, she drops to trot, because the change in balance directly relates to her tempo changing. So I like to challenge that kind of straight away in the warm-up. Again, just taking my time. None of it is a big deal. As you can see, her gaits are very nice. She's a fabulous little mare, and she's going to be quite something special. So the time that we take is very important here. Again, I felt a little bit like maybe the right side was a little weaker today. So she was a little pushing into my right leg. You can see here I'm trying to kind of sit into my right seat bone and swivel my right shoulder in a little bit more to put my right knee on to hold her out on the rail a smidge. Sorry, the pivot is having problems staying caught up with me. So this exercise that I'm starting off with, again, I was thinking her right side was a little bit weak today, so I started off to the right. This exercise is one of my favorites for the young horses that have tempo regulation issues. I'm saying issues lightly because this is still one of my favorite young horses to ride. So this exercise helps improve tempo, balance, and response to the aids, not just a reaction. So as you can see, the transitions happen over the center line. I kind of try to center them between the two quarter lines. And there's a little miscommunication on the right lead canter there. So on the second quarter line, I will canter. On the first quarter line I come to, I will trot. And on the second quarter line, I will ask for the canter again. And again, all of these things are just little balance issues that she's having, kind of running into my seat, running into my hand there. I try and stay just very still, very quiet. I am not pulling. I am just allowing her to kind of express herself. And she's having some trouble finding her feet. No worries. It's not about getting the canter or the transitions done. It's about how she does do them. So I'm just letting her take her time, find her feet, find her balance. And I know she will try for me again as soon as she feels like she's able to. So a lot of putting the transitions continuously in front of her just proves to her that she can try, she can do it, and I'm going to allow her to do it. Nice little young horse moments. It's all fine. Good. The biggest thing with these guys at this stage of life is just to allow them the time to experiment and also allow them the time to repeat the process as needed. Here I just cantered through that second quarter line just to give her a little bit more time. And I think it did help her to kind of find her feet. And that was exactly the type of feeling I was looking for. So again, it's not perfection, it's progress. So we'll do the same to the left. And again, I like to show them the exercise. I never want to just start off one direction where I left off with the previous direction, because it's a whole nother side. There's always some type of crookedness or suppleness issue that you probably are going to have to address, especially with a young horse or a restart or anything like that, that you want to make sure that you get to before you start where you left off. So start with trot and walk and get to canter trot. And again, I don't mind if she has little imbalances. That's what the exercise is for. The exercise is so that I can work the problem without getting into her face about it, without getting on to her about anything. And those last transitions were exactly what I was looking for. It didn't take nearly as long to the left, so that was great. The next thing that I really like to do at this stage is start introducing a little half pass work. She is pretty tired here at this point after all the cantering. So she's getting a little low and rolled over. Her balance is a little bit lacking. And again, that's that little stop, obviously. So I just try and take her a little bit through my left leg, encourage her with a little left flexion to verify what my left leg and left seat bone does. And then she carries on and actually finishes with a pretty nice attempt at a left half pass. So to the right, it doesn't surprise me today that it's a little bit more of a diagonal line than an actual half pass. And here comes another stop. You could see the balance was changing. And again, just take her a little bit through one leg and the other. And here, again, to the left was much stronger. And so I could definitely tell that she was getting very tired by this point, but I was super happy with that attempt right there where she could keep walking even though her balance changed. So we're just going to stretch it out, let her body kind of relax. Sorry again about the pivo. She says she's still game to go with a little canter, but I just want to see if I can get her to drop a little bit, blow out. I got some snorts here at the end on this little bit of a stretch that we got. So I was very pleased with this. Again, all of this work is just done very methodically and calmly, and eventually the process is going to create the progress. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps with your young horses, and we'll see you next time.